But we all remember that there was no day in this state that I got up and bought a bottle of drink and went to anybody and said I wanted to be governor. That's not how this thing happened. That's not how it started. How did it start? We had the first election when there was to be a transition under our party at that time. And the then leader of the party, Right Honorable Chibike Amechi, called a meeting in Abuja. I didn't even know what was the purpose of the meeting. And when we got there with a few of us, he informed us that for his successor, he has narrowed down to 2 persons, myself and Honorable Dakuku Peterson. I hope you all remember that. And immediately that happened, the entire state broke into 2 groups. People immediately decided on which side the whole thing was to go. After that meeting, for weeks, we will get an invitation to come to Government House. The whole state will gather, everybody will be waiting. It became like a papal conclave. Then they'll say, oh, the thing has not been, there was no white smoke today, it was black smoke. All of us will go back again. And then after some weeks, there will be another meeting. We will all gather again in government. People will feel everywhere, speculation everywhere. At the end of the day, they'll say, oh, the thing that's there was no white smoke today. We'll go back again. And that tension built up not only in us and in himself, but in the entire spectrum of the APC. And the party became openly divided. Some people were for Dakuku, some people were for Senator Abe. Meanwhile, Dakuku is my own younger brother. We have always been very, very close. And the whole drama was unnecessary. Because at that point, intelligence invited me in Abuja and told me quite clearly that the governor is going to pick Dakuku and that there will be a riot in Rivers State and I will be arrested. That is what is going to happen. And so I should go to him and ask him if he's not giving me, he should say so now so that I will go and announce that I'm opting out and let there be peace. That night, the governor called me. I should come, let's go to America. We have a meeting in America. And we left for America. And I thought that in America we'll have an opportunity to discuss and say there was no need for all this drama, since it is what is in the cards. But he didn't bring it up. And somehow, I decided to hold my peace and say nothing. Finally, at the end of the day, the thing that security had advised me is what happened. Finally, he said it was Dakuku. And immediately, riots broke out. And I immediately went on air to say nobody should fight, nobody, because I knew what it was. And a lot of my supporters at that time blamed me that why did I intervene so early, they would have brought the whole system down. But that was not my plan. I had always believed that I worked in the system, I didn't ask for anything, and that whatever was my due, the system will give to me. The governor is the leader, he has the right of first choice or first refusal. If he had called me to say, listen, I want to take the governorship, this is what we will do, there would have been no need for all that drama. We would have worked together to support whoever he wanted. But after that whole drama and the party was in total, everybody was upset. I summoned courage and went to him. I said, okay, since you said you will take one of 2 and you have taken 1, you should take somebody as his deputy from the other side so that everybody can come together. He said, oh, am I saying there is now a Magnus faction in the party? I said, it's not a Magnus faction, sir. I said, you know all the people that were with me, if you take somebody like Senator Ake, he will provide experience, maturity, and he's also from a major ethnic group that will back up because our candidate is from a minority, so that we don't run the risk of running 2 minorities on our ticket, which was practical. suggestion. He got very angry and we went the way we went. We did our best in that election. Comrade Kadlo, you will remember that I was almost killed in Gokana. After the soldiers said they are gone, and the soldier who was my friend came to me and said, Magnus, I'm giving you exactly 5 minutes to get out of here alive. The IG called me. I should move to my house immediately. I told Kadlo, I said, allow these old women to go before they kill people here. And they opened fire. But at the end of the day, despite all our sacrifice and our best efforts, we didn't get to where we wanted to go to. And the whole drama that was played out turned out to be meaningless. A straightforward approach would have worked. Fast forward to 2019. And this time, the leader of the party decided to use a more direct approach. No more corner, bend, bend. He drove straight to my house, called me and my wife, and told me in front of my wife about this conversation. The next day, he sent his car. I drove his car, his escorts, to escort me from Abuja, all the way to Kono. I went for a chieftaincy in Kono that day. With his escorts, I didn't tell anybody what has transpired. And about 2 weeks later, he called a meeting at the Dome. And at that meeting, he told everybody that if Senator Abe comes out to contest or talk about governorship, he will destroy the party. And all the leaders got very upset. They challenged him. They said, how can you talk like that? Blah, 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 blah. Fortunately, as the God of wisdom that watches over the innocent would have it, I didn't speak throughout that meeting. I said not a word. So it was at the end, I now raised my hand, I wanted to speak. I was the Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This was an APC stakeholders meeting. Nobody can say that the senator raised his hand and was not allowed to speak. So I had to be called to speak. After great hesitation. And what did I say? I said, I have not told anybody that I will run for governor. But that if people say that I will be the governor, I must say amen. Because my colleague in the Senate told me that when people pray blessings for you, and you don't say amen, the angels will walk away without taking it. So even him that has said it here now, I want to say amen. And the whole hall said amen. And the meeting ended in a fiasco. I didn't do anything about it except that little speech that I made that day, which the Almighty guided me to make. And I left. A few days later, I was invited to a meeting where leaders of the party had gathered and decided that what the man said was a challenge to all of them and that they will not take it. They told me they had no they knew that I had no money, I shouldn't bring money, I shouldn't bring anything. The only thing is that I should agree that I will not go back no matter what happens and we will fight it to the end. Is that not what happened? I looked at the situation. I was already very, very upset by the way I had been treated with the visit to my house. And it was there that I opened my mouth and I made a promise. I said, if it is one person that is left standing, I will stand with that person to the end. And we all held hands and we prayed. Elder, you were there. Senator, you were there. Bombs, you were there. A few people who are here were there at that meeting. I don't want to call some of their names for strategic reasons. But we held hands and I promised them before God that I will not go back. Because they said it, that the weakest person, the biggest problem here is you. The minute Buhari calls you or Amechi calls you now, you will go. And this whole thing, all of us will be. I say no. I will be the last person, I will stand to the end with the very last person here standing. After the proceeds of our meeting came out, the leader announced that this rebellion will not last 6 months. That in 6 months, all of us will go hungry and we will come and beg. And we held another meeting. It is 6 years later. Look at us, look at us, look at us, look at you, 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 look at you. We have shaken the country. We have defeated them. They have run away and left the party. And we are still here. That is why we must go back to the party, and we must go back now. APC! Progress! APC! Progress! We must go back now. Chief Tony Okocha was part of us in that meeting. And he was an integral part of what we did. And today he's the state chairman. Then I say I want to make peace with him. They say no, I should continue to fight. They should go and fight. I'm not fighting. I want peace in the party. Anybody who knows the story of the APC knows that there is no need for us to continue to fight. It is time to put the party together. That is one. Two, as soon as I opened my mouth to say I'm going to work with the Minister of the FCT, you go to everywhere, people are writing one thing, writing. Somebody saw me at the airport today. Say, Senator Abe, have you been following what is happening on the social media? I said, my brother, I know they read social media. People are upset that I said I will reconcile with the minister. I have my reasons. Number one is that everybody knows that from the beginning, we tied ourselves to Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. We have always been Tinubu people. The first Tinubu billboard in this whole South was put up here. Every rally we call Tinubu's name was here. I was patron to every Tinubu pro-Tinubu organization in the South, and I'm still their patron. We did the Tinubu thing here. And I want to correct one misconception, and I will plead with you all to allow me to do so without details. Yes, the FCT Minister, then Governor of Rivers State, is my friend. I did everything to facilitate him becoming a part of a Tinubu campaign, because I knew that his presence with us will make a substantial difference and would help us to win. It is not true that Wike came and pushed me aside. No, that is not true. We had a disagreement, but I will not give the details of that disagreement because it is not political to do so. But he did not just push me aside. We had a disagreement. So it's not, there shouldn't have been any bad blood arising out of that because I disagreed. So Wike did not steal anything that belongs to us. He did not deceive us to take anything from us. That was not how it happened. But something did happen. And I want to use this opportunity to appeal to all of you who have any misgivings about what is happening in the party or to us here as Tinubu's people to let it go. I am making that appeal because I know what happened. Wike is my friend. And if you know the politics of Rivers State, you will know that there is nobody that we have not offended. So there is nobody that we are going to go and work with now that we will not need to reconcile with. Anybody we say we are going to work with now, we must reconcile with the person. Because I have fought with people, I have fought against them, I have fought by them, I have fought for them. We are politicians here. We know what has happened in the state over the past how many years. So this thing, we cannot do the politics alone. We must do it with people. And we cannot go and do it with babies that were just born this morning. Because those are the only ones we have not offended and who have not offended us. Anybody that is up to 18 years old or 22, we have offended the person, or the person has offended us. So if we now want to go and do politics with any one of them, we must reconcile. Now, of all these politicians, who are the ones that you will reconcile with, and you will be sure that if they say they have let it go, they will actually let it go, and they will not hide it in the back of their mind and use it to wound you tomorrow. Look at their history. Look at their history, and then look at Wike's history. If you look around him, there is nobody around him that has not offended him at one time or the other. But he's able to let go. Some of these people, I have attended meeting with them 200 times. If they have hated you, they will hate you. There is nothing you will do that will take away what they have in their mind against you. But with Wike, we have fought, we reconcile. I drink my drink, I leave it, I come back and carry it. When we are together, I know that we are together. When we are apart, I know that we are apart. And if he agrees that we should work together, it means he has agreed. If he didn't want it, he will say no. So with such a person, no matter how we have offended one another, I am more comfortable to go back to say we can work together. And if he says we can work together, I will agree that we can work together. And I want you people to trust my judgment on this one. If we go anywhere else and we say we have reconciled, we still have to be very careful. We will not be that free. But here, I assure you people that if we agree, we have agreed. And we will be able to make progress. Everything in politics is not about only one thing. There are so many things in politics. But the most important thing is that for those of us who were upset with the way the party was being run, there is now a new leadership. There is a new direction. There is a new opportunity for the APC to do things differently in Rivers State, and we can be part of that opportunity. Secondly, the president has always said that he wants us all to work together. And it makes no sense if we say we are going to continue to support Tinubu, then Wike is a minister in Tinubu's government from our state, and then we will not talk to him, we will not have a relationship with him. Let's call a spade a spade. Without Wike, is there any way Tinubu would have won Rivers State with us alone? It's not possible. That is reality. So, if we say we are working with Tinubu, and Tinubu is working with Wike, then we too must work with Wike. That's just common sense. If we don't do that, it's not only necessary for our politics, it is necessary for us to be able to support the president fully. And let me use this opportunity to say something to you people. When Tinubu was a former governor of 20-something years former, he contested an election in which the government conducted, the party, APC was the government, they conducted the primary, did they not? The vice president contested, the president of the Senate contested, ministers contested, governors contested, and Tinubu, who had been out of power for how many years, defeated all of them. They were counting that day. Tinubu, Asiwaju. Were you not there? We were there at the stadium that day. We were drinking what we drink and dancing the way we should dance because we were ahead. Is it now that the man is president of Nigeria, then he will now run, and then people will come and win him? Is that possible? Is it possible? No. Let me tell you how Nigerian politics works. When it gets to that time, the North will look at the system and say, if we support another Southerner who is not Tinubu, that person will come and say they are doing 8 years. Notice what they will do. They will agree support them. And the Southerners will look at the North and say, if we support a Northerner who is not Tinubu and he takes over, it means the South only got 4 years. Will the South agree? They will not agree. So forget all these kitty, kata that they have started again. At the end of the day, the answer will still be Tinubu. And we have to be part of it clearly this time from the beginning to the end. That's why we must work with those that the president is working with. So let us not fool ourselves. Let us not deceive ourselves. Let us come together. All those who believe in the Tinubu presidency in Rivers State, we must come under one umbrella and work together to give the president solid support in this state. Because, as I always tell people, the president is contesting the election, not against any politician, but against the economy and security. Those are the two problems that he has to confront. And knowing the man the way some of us know him, before you get to that time, you would have defeated those ones. And all these people that you see jumping up and down, they will not even come at that time to make noise. They will be very loyal. Just watch. So, we have an opportunity to get back into the party where we can give our unalloyed, unmitigated support to the president and work with other stakeholders to rebuild the APC in Rivers State, which people had promised to destroy. And I felt that we must take that opportunity while that window is open. We cannot continue to prevaricate because we cannot do this thing by ourselves. Having said that, let me also say that I have heard a lot of people talking this and that and that. I have nothing but the greatest respect for the governor of Rivers State. He's the governor. And we are not members of their party. And we are not therefore part of their problem. We are members of the APC. But the 27 House of Assembly members are members of the APC. And so they are our own. We must defend them. We cannot say because they decamped from PDP, they are a different APC from our own. That is not how party politics works. I decamped to APC from PDP on national television. On national television, 11 of us, including Senator Ake, we defected to APC on national yes, we defected to APC on national television. We didn't lose our seat. So we cannot come here today and begin to support people saying that people should lose their seats because they decamped to our party. We will not do that. I have called for peace, negotiation, and working together. And as a statesman in Rivers State, I will continue to call for that. I'm not going to start being uncharitable towards the governor because I have said, or because I'm working with the FCT Minister. No, I will not do that. I will not do that. But I will defend our party. And whatever position the party takes, I will defend that position. So I just want people to be very clear as to what our own goals are. We are APC members. The Minister of FCT is a minister in the APC government, and we are going to work with him. So when you live here, let us know that we have taken a decision that ends the crisis that was started in the All Progressives Congress. I think that was in 2019. I can't even remember. 2018. 2016. My brother. The thing that they said will not last 6 months has lasted, so the people cannot even remember when it started. But we are not any political Bruce Lee. We cannot just continue to fight without reason. The reason for that fight is over, and therefore that fight is over. Luckily, the person who is now the head of the party was somebody who was part of that fight, and he knew what was the cause of it, and he knew why we ended up where we ended up. If we don't take that opportunity to end the fight, is it when another person who didn't know us, they say there came a Pharaoh who did not know Joseph? You see, when another person who does not know us will come, that we will end it, this is the time to end. And let me tell you people something about reconciliation. All of us say we are Christians, but people are ready to fight until they die, especially politicians. Look at our two former governors from the same village, who are relations. For the years they were in power, they could not make up. But when they have left power, they have made up. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Is it not better to make up when the person is in power so that you can benefit from what you are doing? Tony has been my friend. He was here. We fought together. We suffered together. Today he's chairman. You say I should not reconcile with him. Will I quarrel with him till we die? Or is it when he's no longer chairman and he cannot help me, then I now go and reconcile with him? It does not make sense. It is better to reconcile when you can use one another and be useful to one another. So I will reconcile with Wike now that he's FCT Minister. He's working with the president and he can be useful to us. And he will help us when it comes to our Tinubu thing here in Rivers State. Because he contributed the most to Tinubu and he is working directly with the man. This is the time to reconcile. It is not tomorrow when all of us are out of office and then we meet each other and then say, oh, my brother. He said, no, he's my brother now. That's how we are going to do it. So, there are a lot of things I would have said. In fact, for the first time in my life, I actually prepared a written speech. But when I came here, I decided I would not read it. Because we don't want to cause more trouble. Let us leave trouble where it is and simply say that the quarrel we had with Amechi is no longer necessary. He's no longer the leader of the party. As far as the APC is concerned here in Rivers State today, he doesn't have that overbearing influence over the party, and we can therefore go back to the party. I want to use this opportunity to thank all of you that came to hear me out. Without you, I am nothing. Alone, we are nothing. But together, we are something. Let us go forward with a clean mind. I have told you people the reasons why I have decided that we should work with those that are going to the same place that we are going. There is no point following people that you don't know where they are going. We have heard from the minister, he is working with Tinubu. He is committed to Tinubu's re-election just as we are committed. Because no matter what anybody says, I cannot leave Asiwaju and follow any other politician in this country when Asiwaju is president of Nigeria.